I'm very happy to present this work, meta-analysis on the unconscious with working memory effect. The relationship between working memory and consciousness has not been really clarified by the literature, especially from classical working memory theory and consciousness theory. In particular, the possibility that unconscious information can be retained and used in a working memory task is not really clear. The first attempt to identify this effect was by Soto in 2011, which basically they use some Gabor patches in a working memory task and a backward masking paradigm. And basically, after selecting only unseen trials from the participant point of view, the performance were still above chance. This is quite an interesting effect, but at the same time, there were some methodological problems. After this, there other attempts to replicate or extend this very intriguing effect by different authors. And also there were two literature reviews, narrative reviews about this topic. Narrative reviews are very important, very useful, but often are not enough. So we decided to do a Bayesian meta-analysis in order to better clarify some questions about this effect and also estimate some relevant parameters. Basically, we did a systematic review looking for all the papers in which there is evidence for this behavioral effect using some criteria, in particular working memory task, of course, visual stimuli, and the behavioral accuracy. What we found essentially is evidence for a medium effect size, but also a great amount of heterogeneity. And this means that, of course, there is huge variability among effect sizes. We try to include also unpublished results in order to better estimate the effect and try to overcome the publication bias problem. What we found that the published results systematically report absent or null effect, and so there is little evidence for publication bias. We also try to explain the observed heterogeneity with some study level predictors. In particular, we found that the consciousness manipulation, so the attentional blink, backward masking, continuous flash oppression, and meta-contrast masking are very useful in order to explain effects. So the consciousness manipulation is relevant, but also the type of working memory task, in particular change detection task, delayed detection, delayed estimation task, and delayed match to sample task. These are the two most important variables to explain observed heterogeneity. So in conclusion, there is evidence for a medium effect, but also there is a great heterogeneity that is mainly due to methodological differences among different authors and research groups. And this, of course, it's problematic for drawing strong conclusions. And in general, we suggest the meta-analysis is a great tool to quantitatively summarize a specific research question, especially in consciousness research where there is high methodological heterogeneity, but also with meta-analysis, we are able to identify important variables, study level variables to plan also future studies.